Kinfolk. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me get down. You about to what? Break bread right now. But today, I want to focus around two topics. Peer pressure and the inevitable fate of wanting to be noticed for trying to be different on external shit. You feel me? Get me wrong. We all got our unique differences. Before we go too far, y'all make sure y'all hit that sub, hit that like button, that notification bell, click all, so we all can stay in tune. As well as drop a comment, say what's up. But this is my way of saying what's up to you. So with that being said, let's get back to it, man. All right. Now we all know we got these unique differences, but a lot of us don't realize these unique differences take place by way of our unique personalities, our unique purposes in life, etc., etc. All of these things are internal or eternal things. So, with that being said, a lot of us, when trying to garner attention from people, whether we call ourselves trying to reach the people where they are, whether we call ourselves trying to make it make sense to the people, it still get to a point where you got certain brothers who don't know when to stop or where to stop. Even sisters. But at the end of the day, again, I'm talking to my brothers because as much as we want the position as leaders, fathers, men in the situation, you gotta be the leader, the father, the man in the situation. So to keep on looking at your counterpart is definitely not gonna be becoming of a man. Not to mention, we know how these motherfuckers move, bruh. You know, the system always targets and propositions the party that, you know, they want to create a controlled opposition with and divide. So usually in society you even see where there is situations with different countries, right? And say for instance, we got a situation with a different country and there are some people that are in this country that ain't pleased, just like you can find people anywhere that ain't pleased with their situation, and you in turn mobilize these people. You in turn mobilize these people to make these people go against the country in which they live. Now, if we watch how these things play out, perfect example, in real time, you have people who went against the authorities in the country that they live in for the sake of the American government, only for the American government to turn around and leave them hanging. To the point you see people so desperate that you see them jumping on planes while the plane trying to take off, as though they can travel by boarding on the outside of the plane. To me, that's a clear example of what I'm talking about. How we want passes, we want to be allowed to, you know, do certain things in life, develop statuses, just because I'm gonna have to double back, y'all. You know that shit throw me off, motherfucker child. But in turn, if we pay attention to that situation, we can clearly see that when it comes to, yeah, that shit gotta come back, y'all. If they still here when I come back, we'll see what we can do. But again, when it comes to people not handling their business at home, and being used for the best interests of outside forces, it's no different than when we buy into the whole facet of, oh man, I gotta have this, or I gotta flex this for niggas to give a shit. Hey, quite frankly, don't know how to tell you. You went the long way, or you went a long way, but you went the wrong way. Because at the end of the day, that's no different than peer pressure. It's no different than a motherfucking kid feeling like, I gotta have them J's, so they ain't talking about me, mommy. But if we supposed to be so intelligent, and let's kill that. Because the way you measure intelligence is how somebody is able to maintain their thoughts or thought patterns. You feel me? Basically, simple logic. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to follow a person and understand how they drew conclusions, it's a clear sign of intelligence. You feel me? And truth be told, the simpler you can make your ability to draw conclusions will certify your genius. Because to be genius is to take something that appears complicated and to simplify it to where even a 3-year-old can understand. Again, the whole point of this thing is to seek understanding. Seek understanding. But if you can't see where you're being peer pressured because you're trying to fit in, but at the same time, so-called bring them along, come on, bro. And it's time out for us as people undermining ourselves by saying, oh, yeah, we need you to lead us without us thinking for ourselves, regardless. So if someone steps up and reminds us more of our culture that we have lost and more of our culture that I would say we forgot, it still doesn't leave no one above reproach. And that means above, the real checking points. I ain't saying, how niggas sit around and be utilizing the best excuses to not do what they know they should be doing. So often, we take the opportunity to opt out when we see that clearly there is work for us to be doing as a people. We take the opportunity to opt out because we feel like that's not something we supposed to be doing. You feel me? What's up with it, bro? You got it. But at the end of the day, we find out quick and fast how life really plays out. And for some people who never had to go through, man, dang, rest in power, Joe. For those who have found out the hard way, whereas we didn't go through certain peer pressures when we was young, or really didn't notice them, because we was focused on one. I'd say for me, I was focused on making sure I didn't get caught up to try to emulate my friends, but at the same time, be a version of my parents and a version of my friends that allow for everybody to see, like, as much as you view me as human, because you see me with both of my parents, and you like, shit, yeah, I know he got good sense, you feel me? Because he say this, or he talk like this. But, man, my friends, I couldn't find out, because I never wrote them off, they was geniuses. You feel me? Geniuses in the fact that they had nothing holding them back. You feel me? Man, so often, a lot of us have parents that as much as we love them, they meant the best for us, but they wind up stifling their children's growth because they only know what they know. And we kind of find out a lot of our people have been taught to conform to the status quo, which don't serve us, but it serves those who want to keep us in a state of subservientness, you feel me? Or in a state of not feeling like we can do for ourselves. So, with that being said, family, pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to the peer pressure to conform. It's one thing, but it's one thing to try to let people know. And you really don't gotta go too far with it. Cause people know for sure the difference. People know where you coming from. For instance, alright, I made sure to keep my uniform when a nigga kept on making my moves throughout life, knowing that my friends were geniuses. Man, peace to my bro. Shout out to the champ. Man, y'all make sure y'all go check us out for season 4. But I made sure to exemplify the geniuses that I seen in my friends because they came from rough backgrounds. A lot of people try to play them like they wouldn't. So I made sure to keep the certain attire. You feel me? I made sure to wear my clothes a certain way, talk a certain way. Because at the end of the day, you're not finna separate us strictly based on some old petty shit and make a nigga be so caught up on external things that they forget. It's more about the substance that make you who you are. Because them same friends that came from the projects, them same friends that came from worse conditions, they used to come to my house, then steal shit. Used to show my mama the utmost respect. Used to even check me sometimes when I would get so ungrateful because I'm so used to my situation, but don't know what it look like with other niggas who ain't able. You feel me? So, at the end of the day, what I'm bringing to the table today, hope you niggas can eat, digest. But for those who may be, a little too young and need more of a liquid diet, you know what I'm talking about? Put this in the blender, because this is something to remember. Do not let the peer pressure of wanting notoriety cause you to do something. Do not, nigga, let a momentary fix cost you your legacy. Like my mom used to always tell me, you ain't doing something, don't let it look like it. You ain't doing something, don't let it look like it. And that's as simple as avoiding. Like a lot of y'all niggas think y'all so tough or y'all so fucking smart that you can outsmart reality. It ain't gonna happen. You can't keep putting yourself in the same predicaments as leaders before you. I know what it is. Some niggas don't even realize who they are until this shit happen. You be so busy chasing that notoriety to the point when some bullshit happen, because you trying to do too much, you realize, damn, I had what the fuck I was looking for. And all the while, I fucked it up, trying to be greedy. Trying to be greedy, bro. It's one thing, goddamn, get you a Suburban or something. Let these little kids see that just because you talking conscious shit or you talking righteous shit, you don't got to be broke. But it's another thing. Because we really just trying to show the balance. Nigga, you took it to an extreme. It's another thing to take it to an extreme and act like, oh, you know what? See, the difference between me and these other people that's so addicted to labels, you feel me, is I'm doing it because I want to reach the people that's addicted to the labels. By doing the same shit, nigga, a crackhead can't tell another crackhead, man, we got to stop smoking, because they ain't trying to hear that shit. Nigga, you stop smoking first. You feel me? Before you can tell me anything, nigga, you stop chasing out the brands. You stop clout chasing. For you tell these young folks, stop crashing out for notoriety for the wrong thing. Like I said, man, you want to be noticed for external shit rather than notice your unique differences within your personality, which is the true gift that you was sent here to give, and that's why you gonna fall on your face every time. Every time. Cause that ain't what you was sent here for. And that ain't why certain shit was installed within your hard drive. But you too busy focused on that external hard drive you bought from Office Depot that you like, shit, you know what, I ain't even gotta think no more. And it's what happened when you get the wing in it. This what happened when you don't have enough experiences as a child to prepare yourself for the right now. You feel me? You get out here and start looking crazy. Man. People don't be wanting to talk about, bro, how when you do certain stuff, like I've been saying, bro, when you do certain stuff, it affect the whole. Don't be sitting here thinking, oh, this just something to deal with my situation. It ain't gonna affect nobody. So let me get my little 1-2 in. Man, come on, King. You know better than that. We all are part of the whole. So that means what I do affects the whole. So I need to make sure what I do is for the progression of the whole and not just for my own selfish gain. Otherwise, yeah, we broke a sweat today. Otherwise, it's sure to come back to me tenfold. Everything you put out here, picture yourself sowing a seed. You hear me now? Everything you put out here, picture yourself sowing a seed. So when that harvest come back to you, is you ready to eat? Is that what you want to eat? If that's what you want to eat, then hey, eat crow. You feel me? But don't blame me for trying to let you know. You went a long way, but you went the wrong way, bro. Don't get me wrong. If other motherfuckers admit it, we did it on certain levels in our life. You know, I tell people all the time, as I got older and stopped doing certain things, like, you know, I was very active as a kid, so I was known for my talents. So, man, shout out to my bro Terry. So I didn't have to do too much to have friendships, girlfriends, you know, different relationships in life in general. But as I started pulling back from the different things that made me more of myself, you know, I started to realize that I had to adapt in these relationships. And don't get me wrong, being immature, some of the first ways I adapt was conformity. But then you start to realize, if I'm really gonna contribute to a situation, then I gotta bring in a form of me. You feel me? I gotta bring in myself to the table. So I gotta come 100 with you. You feel me? You come 100, I come 100. That's how we gotta run that relationship. It can't be, I leave 50% of myself behind. Cause that means, you know, I'm not being honest with you and bringing in intel when we trying to figure out what's best for us to do. Now granted, you feel me? Depending on who the best person for the job, they got a decision to make based on all the intel that's being brought forth. You feel me? But just because I feel like I had the best idea, or just because I feel like, or the other person feel like they got the best idea, doesn't mean you supposed to override the whole. You know, as a business, they bring in all ideas, and then they vote on what's best. So even with that, my nigga, you might want to take a vote within yourself to recognize, hey man, there's certain peer pressures in life that I haven't been prepared to deal with. You know, because before now, I've been developing relationships strictly based on the genuineness of me. You know, the talents that I possess and then I've been able to express. Once you get to the point, you begin to be inactive, you know what I'm saying, and you just getting paid off the fruit, the labor that you did before, they get to a point, some people start to feel themselves. Some people start to feel themselves. And a lot of times, I tell my people, because it got to go back and forth, we got to hold each other accountable. So we cannot, man, I repeat, we cannot sit here and keep on putting people on a pedestal and then get mad when they act like they own one. You feel me? Nobody is above reproach. That's why I love my debaters. They get checked all the time. And I say my debaters because I fuck with them niggas. Them my niggas. You feel me? And we don't all got to say that. So I'm going to say my debaters because those are brothers who are willing now, to put what they feel they understand and know on the line in order to grow. I done seen these brothers adapt to the point. It ain't like it's just as simple as, oh, yo, we had that debate, that's over with. Man, you got some brothers that do that, but that's anybody. In any situation that's gonna be like, I mean, not anybody. You got people like that in any situation is what I'm trying to say. That only want certain things out of it. Like my brother Yara broke it down the other night. Certain people, you can learn a lot from them by watching how they play games. And if you play certain games with your children, you can notice certain patterns that they have. Like you have some children that'll rather get their money slow, long as they know it's coming though. You got some children, they want to get all their shit up front and then disperse it on how they want it to go. So either one is not necessarily wrong, depending on, again, your goals in life. So with you trying to be in competition with others, you would tend to do things to reach people where they are, even if it means participating in the idiocracy. Don't get me wrong. I did this before to prove a point to certain people, as well as, I did this before to prove a point to myself, as well as to show certain people how sensitive the body really was. Like for instance, had a relative, you know what I'm saying, that wanted to change their life. So we had to meet them halfway. You know what, bruh? I'ma eat like you eat. And I'ma show you how it messed me up. Cause you see, I don't eat none of that stuff now. So you know I'm pure. So let me turn around and eat like you been eating. You feel me? And see how that shit break me down. But just before it break me down, I'm gonna rebuild myself by simply eating the fruits and vegetables that I was telling you. And I showed this countless times to my family members. To the point I have family members that, you know, they own the trip. They down the path. But like I tell them, and I tell anybody, it's a constant maintenance. You feel me? Because we all in a situation where we're not getting all the best possible resources. You feel me? Even though we feel like it. You come to find out, damn, nigga, these ain't even the best fruits and vegetables. But we gotta pay attention to that. Like we not even fighting these people. Like, hold on, that ain't even no real. Like, hold on, that banana, ain't that some knockoff shit? Hold on, ain't that corn? That ain't real. Like, come on, bro. But we too busy focused on other shit to the point we like shit. You know, we done seen the reverse. You feel me? So when a nigga say nut meat, not trying to be on no bullshit. We talking about the walnuts being ground up into a meal. But when a nigga say nut meat, you automatically think about beef. And you say, oh, we trying to get a knockoff form of meat. When that so-called beef and all that shit is bad for you, it's got to be the knockoff because it gives you no nourishment. Only cause you problems. So a lot of times we give shit to little people, including ourselves, because we little on the inside. And a lot of our organs is supposed to be a lot smaller than they are. But because of the excessive eating, it has to, enlarge in itself. Just saying, family. Take the time to become sensitive enough to you. And don't get caught up in socializing so much that you fall victim to the peer pressure. That you don't come and do what you was meant to do. And I know the tightrope struggle, because I went through it too. Gave you countless examples of what I had to go through. From childhood to teenager to adulthood. But you gotta know where that fine line is, G. Don't get me wrong, my nigga. Motherfucker try to play with my name too. But you gotta get through this shit. You gotta show that proof. We all gonna meet our day of reckoning. But is that shit gonna break you though? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Everybody who's been allowed to watch this shit vicariously, we've been allowed to see people make their mistakes so we can be wise enough to learn from it. But for all of us that's able to see this shit, I'm gonna need for y'all to take account of the times that shit, you know what? Hey, bro, I played with my life, dude. I let motherfuckers have an up on me and limit that shit, bro. That's for all the leaders, potential leaders, people in general, man. Let's stop winging it and not paying attention to the compromised positions that we in. And if we have compromised positions that we all can agree upon, then we can start from there to figure out how to weed out how we want to go about it. We don't even have that. We too busy finally getting the freedom to express ourselves that a lot of times you see the extreme of. But I'll tell you this, make sure the words that you use be the same judgment that you judge you. But if you don't hold yourself up to that same standard, then my nigga, you part of the same reason why this motherfucker fell off. And again, if you put somebody up on a pedestal and expect them not to sit there, woe is you. I love you as myself. And that ain't nothing you can do about it. It's we are one, kinfolk. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. So we about to what? Break. We just broke bread right now.